They'll begin here with Blunt. And he'll push his way forward to about the 32. Now hold everything here. We're going to get a timeout by the offense. It's just their first, so they'll have 2 remaining here before we get to halftime. The final shot before half for Brady. His throw incomplete. So all right, hang on here. We'll jump over halftime. Just let the system and graphics catch up. Okay, all set. Third quarter now. So both teams have their marching orders, and we'll get going again here in quarter number 3. Danny Amendola on the return. And he'll take it up past the 25 to the 26-yard line. So the Patriots coming out now. They have the ball here for the inaugural drive of the second half. Pretty big deficit, though. We'll see what adjustments were made in that locker room.
And I never want to make something more important than it actually is, right? I don't want
nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Adrian Claymore in there to get him his second sack now of the afternoon.
That's his second sack of the game, and the best defensive ends, they do their homework as much as offensive guys do. They know how to beat the offensive lineman across from them, what moves they need to do to set them up. This guy's been pretty good at it all game long.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he's going to be unable to get upfield as they take him down at the 21-yard line. Desmond Trufant there making the tackle.
Tough day, tough sledding right there, and it's been that way the entire game. Not a whole lot of room to ramble for him.
Yeah, you're right. It's been that way all afternoon. Didn't get a whole lot better there. Looking for his all-pro tight end, Rob Gronkowski. And fourth down coming up.
But, partner, anytime someone tells me that fundamentals are leaving the game, I'm going to show them this play because they couldn't get to the passer. So what do you have to do? Get your hands up in the passing lane, and they batted it away on a third down attempt.
He gets this one away, and boy, it's another boomer. This is fielded at the 27. We'll call that a 49-yard punt, but a net of just 39 following the 10-yard return. And it'll be Falcon football as they take possession. So we get set to start this third quarter. Here's the Falcons offense now. They have the lead here. Well, we talk a lot about pregame speeches. What are halftime speeches like?
For the most part, not nearly as emotional. They're a lot more clinical. Every now and then, though, they'll get after you if they think they need to light a fire. But in this case, let's go into the virtual locker room, because here's what I think happened. They got in there and they said, listen, let's take control right away. Defense, we've got the lead. Defense, don't give up any points. Turn the ball back over to the offense and let them go down and score and give us more of a cushion in the game. Check so far. Defense shut him down. Let's see if the offense gets done.
He goes for 18 there as the drive will continue.
I really don't think that Julio Jones could be happier right now. Plenty of catch opportunities in this game. He's converted them, and his team's winning.
And Matt Ryan's happy, too, to have Julio Jones on the other side of these.
Yeah, you know, a lot of times we talk about breaking teams down, and oftentimes just through a running game. These two, they can break a team down through the air.
4 yards remaining now on second down.
Well, if you do read man coverage, Brandon, the drag route's a pretty good one to run against it because you're running away from people on it.
To throw is Ryan. He's going to leave this for his running back. It's complete. And he's able to get it down to the 25-yard line. It's a 7-yard gain there, and it's good enough to move the chains. And a good quarterback facing zone coverage. If he has just a little bit of time to survey the scene, that's what's going to happen.
No doubt about it. If there's no pressure, he's going to continue to pick them apart because he'll have all that time to find someone open downfield. You can only cover for so long. So maybe they want to go to a zone blitz scheme, get a little bit more pressure. Remember when Carolina did that against Denver? They lost the game ultimately. They dropped the defensive end out, and he ended up with an interception in that game in Super Bowl 50. Maybe some sort of scheme like that to try and get more pressure at the passer.
It's a gain of 5, and that'll bring up a third down. So they're operating in the red zone.
An ex-teammate used to experienced quarterbacks because no matter what, You really can't hide what you're doing. And I think that right there, he knew right away where the blitz was coming from, where his primary guy was going to be, and he ended up going to a secondary target for a nice game.
I was just going to ask you, that wasn't the primary target, and he's so good at that, isn't he?
I think he knew right away that he wasn't going to get to his primary guy. I think he read that as soon as he got to the line of scrimmage, knew where the pressure was going to come from, and said, I know how to beat that, and that's what he did.
Ryan. It's caught. Jones. And the athleticism on the spin move allows him to pick up the first before he's brought down. And when these two are clicking, Ryan and Jones, and we've seen multiple hookups here in this one, usually their offense is clicking, and that's why they're winning.
Yeah, they tend to follow what those two do. They set the tone for either a good day or maybe a tougher day. And right now, we're seeing an excellent game because those two are finding each other. Doesn't matter where on the field, they're making plays.
They come out with one back and three tight ends. This will be caught at about the 5. And he is into the end zone for a Falcon touchdown. Julio Jones from 4 yards out. And the Falcons add on. And that, boys and girls, is an NFL record 6th touchdown reception. The record has stood since 1950. What a game.
How about that? Because so many things have to go right in order for it to happen. Not just him catching the passes, someone delivering it accurately, offensive line giving him time to throw the ball. A true team record, but he stands above it because he was on the receiving end of so many great plays.
And now out come the Patriots. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means you're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency, move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of first downs, and hopefully flip the field.
Yeah, just something to build off of. That's what they're looking for here.
I do know from experience that when you slow down someone's running game, you're now doing the dictating on defense. And guess what? Now you're getting ready to tee off on their quarterback because they have to throw it all the time. But you still have to be alert for the draws and other plays of that nature and make sure you don't get hurt.
It's a pickup of 16 there, and it'll lead to a new set of downs.
One thing I can say pretty safely, that route is not called if you don't have a guy who can throw the ball and put some mustard on it. Because if you're going to lollipop it in the middle of the field, bad things usually happen. It takes a strong-arm guy who can rifle it in there, and they were able to successfully complete that one.
They go play action here on first down. Surveying the field. Still back there. And no escaping this time as he'll go down. They got him for a sack. Tyson Jackson in there to record another sack. Their 6th of the afternoon. And we say it all the time, have to be able to get rid of the ball sooner than that.
You have to help your offensive line out. They're going to protect you as best they can. And if you're getting 3 to 5 seconds to throw the ball, they're doing a really nice job. But when you hold it and give up a sack, you're really almost discrediting their work.
So a second down incompletion now brings up third down. They slot Gronkowski outright. Now a play fake. Brady. And this is going to be incomplete. Julian Edelman, the intended receiver, and it's 4th down.
This has been a really nice day for the defense. They've made it so difficult to find open receivers because they're able to squeeze the passing lanes down. A lot of what they're doing is communicating. Receivers in one area, receivers in another area. They're almost what they call passing them off from one defender to the next, even in zone defenses, and making it very hard to find an open spot for the quarterback to deliver the ball.
This is taken at about the 14. Nice job bringing that one back. 14 on the return. And the offense will come back onto the field. And with this deficit, let's be honest, it's time for them to get a stop.
And partners, you understand very well from our time together and visiting with coaches, Defensive coordinators tend to be a little more emotional, a little more high-strung than others. I have a feeling that speech came out about taking a stand and bowing up in this possession.
Yeah, that's where this word pride comes out, right?
In a big way.
5 yards on the catch there, brings up second down.
And when you're playing a quarterback with some experience and some moxie, you enter the danger zone when you decide to blitz him, because if he's able to diagnose as he did on that play, he can hurt you downfield.
He reads defenses so well, doesn't he?
He really does, and the best part about that play for him, I don't think that was his primary target.
I don't think so either.
I think he had the read, figured out where the blitz was coming from, and went to a secondary target for a really nice gain.
And defensively, they were in zone coverage there. Do you have to be a little careful? You're losing, playing against a good quarterback like he is, to not play too much zone?
Yeah, you have to be careful about how much time you're giving up. I think it's a good point you just brought up. So maybe if you still want to play zone, you go to a zone blitz scheme. And you can drop anyone out of your defensive front. Defensive end, defensive tackle. It doesn't matter. You just exchange someone to bring more pressure towards the quarterback and still try and cover downfield.
Now it's Ryan. Oh, there's that man again. It's complete. He chucks him aside.
Dumped him.
It's a gain of 14 there. And it'll be first down Atlanta. And on that last play there, he's over 400 yards passing now.
And you know what that generally means?
Success.
That, and it means you really didn't miss opportunities. Usually very accurate.
And he'll take it into the end zone. Touchdown, Atlanta. Julio Jones. An 18-yard touchdown grab. And the Falcons continue to pour it on. I don't even know what to say anymore. I mean, I've lost track of how many times he's been in the end zone. This is just flat unbelievable.
Doesn't matter whether you have an abacus, a calculator, just old-fashioned pencil and paper trying to total it up. The number is staggering. What a performance. This man knows how to find the end zone and make it count.
And he'll get into the end zone as the two-point conversion is successful. And is there bad blood here? I mean, go for two when you're up. That much?
If there wasn't before, there is now. When you do that, you've just announced to everyone, you just don't care about the other side at all. All you care about is what you're doing, and they just want to pile up points.
They did. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And he'll get it up past the 20 to the 22-yard line. And heading back out there now, the Falcons defense here. They'll be hoping to come up with that same type of effort they had last time when they forced the punt that led to a touchdown.
And that type of effort just continues to carry over. Because once you get it done once, you feel like you can do it again and again. It's no guarantee. But you got to like the confidence that they take back out into the field.
Now, will they keep that confidence? Time to find out.
We always like to talk about defense in terms of levels. First level defensive line, second level linebackers, third level defensive backs. On that run, that was what we call a first level run, and it was stopped by a second level player.
Blunt, the lone running back. And he'll get it up the middle. And not a whole lot doing there as he'll get it up to about the 28-yard line. 3 yards on the pickup. That's going to set up